So I gave this driver hack to my student William, who's an experienced golfer, and it immediately added about 15 yards to his drive, and he actually even hit a couple more fairways. Now, before I gave him this hack, I had to make 2 adjustments because he didn't have the ball in the right spot and his feet were a little bit off. And as a result, he was hitting like a high slice. What we did with his ball position is we moved it forward. Now, if you follow any of our stuff here at VLS Golf and in the vertical line swing, you know that we like the ball to be positioned when we're hitting a driver more towards the inside of the lead arm, because when you're hitting the driver, it's the one club where the golf ball is always on a tee. And when we hit it correctly, the club is working in a slight upward motion. Here's what I did with them. I said, all right, well, what I want you to do is put your feet together and position the ball right in the center of your stance or right between your 2 heels. When you take a step towards the target, I want it to be just a really small step. I'm talking like maybe an inch at the most. And then take a big step with your trail foot. So when you do that, mini step, maybe 1 inch, big step, what happens is that the ball naturally gets more positioned off the inside of your lead arm. And when the ball's in that spot, then you can make a natural swing and you can actually hit slightly up on the golf ball. So that was the first thing that I did. Then we made an adjustment to his feet before we got into the hack. Now what we did with his feet, because he was slicing the golf ball, and you're the type of golfer who slices your driver, pay attention because this is a golden nugget here. He's a right-handed golfer. We aimed him slightly to the right and we took the club face and we kept the club face square to the target. Let me say that again. We took his feet or his toe line, we aimed it slightly to the right. We're talking maybe like the right side of the fairway, nothing crazy, while also though keeping the club face perfectly square to the target line. What happens there is then the feet are actually slightly closed relative to the target line and also the club face. Now this is one of the core cornerstones of the vertical line swing, and we put this in our book, The Bad Lie, Amazon bestseller. And what happens is when we do that, when the feet are slightly closed and the club face is square, it naturally sets us up to swing the club from the inside with the square club face. And if you do that, you're gonna hit a nice high draw. We got the ball forward so William could hit up on it. We got his feet slightly closed so he could swing from the inside. We got his club face square so he could deliver a square club face, and the combination of those helped us hit the shot that we were looking for. But what was the hack? What was the hack that really kind of brought it all together? It was simply what we call the hover. I didn't come up with this. I didn't make it up. I stole it from probably 2 of the greatest drivers of the golf ball of all time. One was Jack. If you know the last name, put it in the comments. And the other one was Greg. Put it in the comments if you know who that was. These are 2 of the greatest drivers of the golf ball we have ever seen. And if you look closely, you can go to a YouTube and look it up, and well, don't leave our channel, maybe do it after this video. But what you'll notice is that when they were set in there, in their prime, they would hover the driver just slightly behind the golf ball. And then they would go ahead and swing it from there. Let me go ahead and hit one, and then I'm going to tell you why this actually works. So you've got the feet slightly closed, the ball's forward, the club face is square. You're going to hover it. Ooh, not too shabby. How was that, Nick? Huh? Pretty good? Okay, hey, Nick gave us a thumbs up because that was a decent shot. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and like our channel because hopefully we're helping you play better golf. And be sure to tell us where you're from. We love hearing where you're from. Why does the hover work? Well, you remember earlier in our conversation here, we said that when you hit the driver, it's the only club where the ball is on a tee and you want to hit up on it. So when you hover the club, when you hold it up in the air like this, it naturally tells your subconscious, okay, that you're going to swing the club through the golf ball because the club is up in the air. You're not swinging the club down to the ground like when you're hitting a driver. Now, the other reason it works is because when you're holding the club off the ground, you're actually bearing the weight of the club. When the club's on the ground like this, it can rest on its own. But when it's off the ground, you actually have to bear the weight of it. And when you're bearing the weight of the club, it naturally helps you have a smoother takeaway. So now that we have you hitting longer drives and hitting more fairways, be sure to check out my next video. And if you want to personally work with us on your golf game, check out vlscoaching.com.